took the time to very carefully mark this out. So because this is 1/2 inch here and this is 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch off of this edge. Yeah, 3/4. Wanted to make sure because I shaved this edge. I shaved them both a little bit, but that's fine. 3/4 of an inch, and then halfway up. My pieces ended up being 3 1/4 inch wide, so I came up 1 5/8 inches. So it's halfway. This is going to be my cut line. So that's where I'm going to drill my hole, my start hole for my slot, and my through hole for my carriage bolt that I'm going to put through there. All right, this is another reason I love this setup so much. It's easy to just attach these stop blocks for your beginning and end cut. I've got my piece in here. I've located it by bringing the bit up through the hole and then adjusting my fence till I got it just exactly where I want it. Set my stop block back here. Used my 6-inch rule off of my old height gauge for my distance this way. I don't know if that's going to be enough or not, but I'm pretty sure it will be. I can't imagine I'll be measuring anything higher than that. I have to remember that I am going to be losing about 1.5 inches off of that. So effectively I'll only have, well no, I take that back. I still will have 6 inches of range of motion. So we're fine. So I'm going to drop my bit down till I hit 0 here, and then I'm going to bring it back up. Right there's 0. Nope, still haven't hit it yet. Oh yeah, I have 2, sorry. Right there, 0. So I'm going to bring it up in the hole. I'm going to bring it up 1 turn, which is just a 32nd of an, or a 16th of an inch. Right there. I'm going to make my cut. I'm going to flip it over and look at it and see, make sure I'm good and parallel to that hole. I do want a little slop in this because I want it to slide easily. So if I'm off one way or the other, that'll be okay. Then I'll just make my second cut go in the opposite direction, a few thousandths of an inch, just to open up that gap a little bit. So let's see how this turns out here. Nope, I gotta redo my exhaust here. Hang on a second. No, I guess I don't either. We're good. I want to close, since I'm not using the top one, though I do want to close that off. Okay, you got a nice clean slot. It appears as though I am favoring be this side. So I want to come back, do one more pass on the inside, which means I'm going to have to start back here and pull it this way because of the way the bit is spinning. So I'm going to dial this over just a few thousandths and make one more pass. This one I can do, yeah, I'm only taking a few thousandths of an inch. I can do this in one pass. Make sure I'm going the right way here. That's the wrong way. There, that's the correct way. Now, just to be safe, I'm going to back this down. Take it down about halfway. Yeah, we'll start right there. Let me get a bolt and we'll test that fit. This one's a little long. That's good. Get the other half here. There it is. Well, that might be all right. Right, things are going good here. I'm happy with the progress. One thing I wanted to show you was this dial indicator that I have right here. I don't even remember who makes it, to be honest with you, but it's got a 1/2 inch backing, a back on it, into which threads this a tapered or pan head screw or bolt. So that's what's going to hold this to this upright piece. So I know this is 1/2 inch and this is 1/4. So locating that like I did here, you can see this is the hole I'll end up doing is a 1/2 inch hole, then 1/4 inch through, and then countersinking it on the back for that bolt. So here's how I'm going to locate this. I've got this bottomed out. And when I set my gauge on here, it's at 0. But I just want to push it in about 50 thousandths because you're going to want some tension on that gauge. So we're going to start our first hole right about right there. Get my square up here. Now I know that's a 1/2 inch, so center of that hole will be another 2.5 revolutions. So there's a 1/2, 1, 2. So right there, that's where I want to set my first hole. And it'd be good to have a pencil. Hang on a second. Zero. 51. Right there. Yeah, we're okay. I'm actually a little further, but that's fine. So that's going to be my first hole, and then I'm going to find center here to drill. Okay. Then I'm going to show you how I'm going to drill 1-inch holes so that I can offset. I can use my 1, 2, 3 blocks to set up. So this will be 0, 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, depending upon what I want to measure. So let me get that laid out here, and I'll show you how I'm going to. All right, I found center. So this is my first hole, and then I don't even have to measure these other ones. I'll use my blocks to locate them. But what I do need to do is get this hole located first, and then the rest will be easy. All right, there's a number of ways you can do this, but here's what I'm going to do. First of all, I drilled some test holes to get the depth the way I wanted it. It's a little shallow here, but I know it's going to be deep enough here because I've got laminate on top. So I'm going to put my 1, 2, 3 blocks in here, and I've got enough room for an extra hole that I'm going to use. So I'm going 4 inches. I'm going to drill this one, and I'm going to drill all of these in succession, then come back and drill all the 1/4 inch holes in succession, and then do my countersinking from the other side. So let me get these going here. I'm going to have to deal with that. Peels off the laminate. Then I can start drilling into the wood. That's going to give me capacity that I'll probably never use, but it's always good to be prepared. All right, change that out, put in a 1/4 inch bit here. I'll just go up the line. I gotta remove my stop here, I don't need that anymore. this, I'm just going to let it find its natural center here. I'm going to check the fit with that bolt and do any little touch-ups if I need to. I'll be right back. Okay, there it is so far. I say so far because it's a little tippy, and we're going to correct that with a base. But I like it so far. I loosen my knob back here, bring it back to 0. Perfect. And then I can slide it up from here. I have 0 to 1, and then 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I also can remove this long extension I have on here and gain some extra capacity that way. So this way at 0, it's okay, but you're not going to use it at 0. So I'm going to figure out some kind of a base to put on here. I've got this much room to work with. I think it'll just be some 3/4 inch ply and Baltic birch. Make sure that it's nice and square, and that'll work. I'm trying to think of what I could use for some counterweights. I may put some magnets on it, make it a magnetic base. But let me do that, and then we'll come back and take a look at it. All right, I just created my base, and I've located 3 holes that are going to go on the bottom here for rare earth magnets. And I'm going to glue this onto my setup I have right now. But first I want to get these in there and get those epoxied in. Okay, pre-epoxy, I wanted to let you know that these are probably, 30 thousandths below the surface, so that once I get some epoxy in there, it has a little room to overflow, and then I can squeegee that off. But you don't want this magnet riding right on the surface, because that'll affect the way it sits. So you want this flat surface of the board to be your reference, and that's why I have them countersunk down into the wood just a little bit. Room for the epoxy, and this is now my reference surface here, the maple. Alright, I got way more epoxy mixed up here than I needed, but put a little in here. Gonna rock them back and forth a little bit to get that hydraulic effect overcome. There, I can feel now that they're below the surface. All right, we'll let that set up a little bit.